Mark Rogers TV with some instant analysis. Of course, during the regular season, you're used to this, but we're bringing you the spring game version from Miami with our guy, Alonzo Oliver from Alonzo1219. You got to go to the U family right there on YouTube and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Miami football fans, do this. As soon as we get done, go to his channel, subscribe right there. So it's great to see you. I appreciate you doing this. I know it's been a long day. You had a long drive, a long trip, but I appreciate you doing this. So first thing I need to know is if you had a good time today.
Oh, it was unlike most spring games. I've been to the last, I'm thinking about 10. And this one, it was almost like a game-like atmosphere. It didn't look like it from the stadium, but they tailgated. It was ridiculous. All the way up to the end as I'm walking out of the stadium, they're playing music. Everybody out tailgating, eating, and having it wasn't all people you have to experience for yourself, but it was a great atmosphere. Coach Rick, and the coaching staff, and the AD Blake James, and the president Julio Frank, they really put on a good show. They know what they're doing right now, trying to get this program back credibility.
All right, Zoe, you know everybody wants to hear about the quarterback situation first and foremost. Malik Rozier had a decent day if you look at the numbers, but this is why we got you there to interpret what really happened on the field. The numbers look okay, and I can't wait to watch some of the highlights. And N'Kosi Perry made some spectacular plays from what I'm reading here.
I used to say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Numbers are lying when it comes to Malik's game.
Yeah.
He missed. I forgot what receiver it was. It might have been Langham. Got wide open downfield. He overthrew him. He was nobody near 5 yards of him. And every pass he completed was short passes, little dig routes or a little slant over the middle, a little out passes and swing passes. He didn't complete anything deep. He looked very bad. He looked very unaware in the pocket. Took a couple of sacks. It just wasn't a good outing for him. He looked the worst out of all three quarterbacks, in my opinion. I'm gonna go over it.
Go ahead, sorry. You got all the info. I need to shut up. You go to it.
I'm gonna go to the third quarter. I'm gonna go to Jaron Williams, because to me, I'm gonna save the best for last. Y'all already know who I root for, but I feel like he had a great day. But Jaron Williams had I think if Perry wouldn't have had such a great day, Jaron Williams had a awesome, great day. He completed a couple deep passes, ran the ball well. I forget the freshman receiver's name, number 7. I'm so sorry, I forget his name. But him and Williams hooked up all day long. It's like they were roommate. I don't know if they're roommating or not, but he's a big kid. Got a nice fade touchdown. He threw the ball deep a couple of times. He looked amazing. Very athletic. His awareness in the pockets was almost perfect. He took a couple sacks that he didn't have to take, but he definitely had a great game today. And the crowd was back and forth between him and Perry, but I think he played against more second and third team. I don't know if he faced the first team defense. I don't think he did. It's kind of hard to see out there. They're not naming all the players, but I know N'Kosi played against first teamers. But Jaron Williams was amazing. And he's right on Perry's heels. He's definitely digging in on Perry's heels. He had a great game. Now, when I go to Perry was just electric. Everything he did was almost electric. He threw an interception at the end of the first half trying to score a touchdown. But besides that, man, he threw two deep passes. I mean, one was probably for like 40-something yards. And I was screaming. If you look at my live, I was telling people it was like 1st and 10 on like the 25-yard line. And I said, he's going to throw an 80-yard touchdown. He's going to throw it. And he threw the ball like 50 yards. And it was completed. And I was like, I told you. But he threw another deep pass. And that was at the end of that drive was when he threw the interception. He threw a fade route to, I think it was Harley, for a touchdown, for like a 15-yard touchdown. He was on point tonight. I thought it was a first down, another play that he threw. I forgot what receiver it was to, but it was like on a 3rd and 10, and they said the guy was out of bounds, but they didn't show the replay, and the whole crowd was upset because they didn't show the replay because everybody thought he had caught the ball. And the last drive of the game, he drove the ball all the way downfield with almost no time on the clock, and threw the ball out of bounds on like the 7-yard line. They didn't call a timeout or anything. They just let it live play. So he tried to do the hurry up and threw the ball out of bounds. But other than that, man, he had almost a perfect game. The interception to me was one of those interceptions at the end of the drive, at the end of the half. We were trying to get a touchdown. Our field goal kickers looked bad, so they weren't trying to kick a field goal. So they're trying to kick a touchdown. Get a touchdown. And he just threw the ball over the shoulder too high, and he got picked off.
So not necessarily a bad decision, just made a bad throw.
Yeah, just made a bad throw. It wasn't a bad decision. He was right. They put him in a pressure situation, trying to score with like 6 seconds on the clock at the end of the half, and he just made a bad throw. He made a couple bad throws. Made a couple bad throws tonight, but I mean, he's a sophomore. I mean, he's a redshirt freshman, and Jaron Williams a freshman. Those two guys there, they look. I give the edge to Perry because I think he was sharper. Also, I think he played against a better defense. Those two guys were sharp tonight, but Malik did not look good at all.
Yeah, so I know what you just mentioned a few minutes ago from covering spring games when I did in the SEC. It's difficult to get information. You got double numbers running all over the place and guys that are just new into the program. So you don't have the perspective of everything. So it's tough to track some of this stuff. But from the game notes and some of the stuff I'm looking at, it looks like the defensive line of the first unit. And to answer your question, based on the information I'm getting, it was strictly first unit versus first unit, twos against twos. Like the defensive line dominated the offensive line is what I'm hearing. So I don't know if that's more a good thing for the D line or the offensive line looked that bad.
The offensive line looked good. They didn't run a lot. I know Lingard had a good run. Travis Homer had a couple pretty good runs. The timing in the pocket, there weren't a lot of sacks. The sacks weren't because of the offensive line. And like I say, people can go look on my channel. I tried to record as good as I could, but I tell people you get 2.5, maybe 2.7 seconds in college football to get rid of the ball, and the quarterbacks were holding on to the ball a little too long. They were holding on to the ball. I was counting 1, 2, 3, 4. So they were pass blocking, in my opinion, very well. They weren't, there was no. As soon as the ball get hiked and it was in the backfield in the second and a half. No, they was giving them time. Sometimes you have to give credit to the defensive backs for jamming the receivers and the receivers not being able to get off blocks. I mean, not being able to get off the jam and not get open. But the O-line, they're not going to hold blocks for 4 seconds. It's almost impossible. It's just not going to. You get 2.7 seconds in college football to hold a block, and then those guys on defense are on scholarship too. You're not just going to hold them up, but. In my opinion, the defensive line did not dominate the offensive line at all today. Offensive line did very well from my eye test, from what I saw. They gave the quarterbacks time. And like I said, you look at the deep throws that Jaron made and that N'Kosi Perry made. They made some real deep throws, a couple of them. So you have to get time. The offensive line has to block for you in order for you to get the ball downfield like that. They were able to get the ball downfield.
So Jonathan Garvin and Joe Jackson were coming off the edge. Apparently, they had good games. Russo, can't think of his first name, but Russo, he's a true freshman. He had 3 sacks against the twos. And it's difficult. Again, you got the same team playing against each other. So you're trying to figure out, okay, somebody always looks good on a play, but somebody else looks bad. So you're trying to determine, okay, should I be worried about what looks bad on that play, or should I just feel good about what looked good? So what's your overall impression of the team right now?
Well, that's why I tell people that it's kind of hard to watch games and not understand the timing and everything, or kind of hard to go by numbers sometimes. Like I said, a few of those sacks, I can guarantee you, and like I said, if you go back and look at the video I'm talking, they're coverage sacks. A few of those sacks are coverage sacks. Quarterbacks holding the ball too long and just cannot get rid of the ball, because you don't get, like I said, you don't get 3, 4, 5 seconds to get rid of the ball in college football. But my overall assessment is the team looked very well. I think Manny Diaz might have been a little vanilla because he didn't blitz a lot. He did not blitz a lot. He let them play straight up, which I like that, because it shows the defensive line being able to cause havoc without blitzing. So it helps the defense get in coverage and stay in coverage, a little bit better if they can get to the quarterback fast without the blitz. But the receivers look great. I didn't see a lot I seen a great catch from Langham, that deep pass that Perry threw, might have been a 40-yard pass to Langham at the end of the game. He got a few passes thrown his way. Cager caught, I think he might have caught 1 or 2, but he wasn't targeted a lot. I know he's just coming off injury. Jeff Thomas just had an amazing game. I thought Harley did very good. Amon Richards didn't play. But the defense, I wasn't upset with the defense at all. They played great with a vanilla defense. Offense, I was just impressed that the offensive line, in my opinion, were able to hold blocks for the pass, and a few run plays broke free. Jaron Williams was able to, on that RPO, he was able to get outside the pocket for a couple 10, 15-yard plays. Nkosi was able to get outside the pocket for a couple 10, 15-yard plays. And even there was a couple plays where MarkRogersTV was able to get outside the pocket and run up the field because of the way the design of the play and the way the offensive line was blocking. So this was probably the most impressive practice I've seen on the offensive side of the ball, with the defense still bearing down their throat. So I thought it was good. I thought you have so much talent on both sides of the ball and so much speed on the offense side that for the defense to play as good as they did, it kind of amazed me.
We've got Alonzo Oliver on the line. Go to his YouTube channel after you get done watching this and subscribe right there. Alonzo1219, the U family. Subscribe to his YouTube channel and the Twitter as well. Follow him right there, 1219 Alonzo. Don't give up on MarkRogersTV, of course. Continue to subscribe.
No, please. I'm telling you. I don't know. I know it's been kind of crazy lately on the channel. We're at 2,500 now, which I'm very blessed at. But you know that you always get a plug. You supported me from 600 subs. So as many as I get, I will always try to send them over to you and Kane Shays, because they're guys who've always, been out there and supported. So I definitely appreciate it always.
Yeah, and I certainly did that without knowing how many subs you had. I didn't do it based on that. I would have given you a pop based on one sub. I just watched the channel and saw the passion and the knowledge coming through. So that was obvious. Alonzo, before we let you go, I've got some comments and questions here, and I'll hit you with a couple quick ones. Number of people on here. Now, some people are telling me that Malik looks good, that he looked good, but that means hang on here. They think he looks good on the bench.
Yeah, I can tell you. And like I said, I talk from the heart, and people can get upset with me, and it is what it is. But I speak what I see, and I'm 100% real. He was very nervous tonight. He was on the bench like, you have got to be kidding me. I am going to be carrying it, because I would not be surprised if he had third string. The only way I think he'll be at second string is if they red shirt. If Perry just wins the job outright and they red shirt Jaron.
So four-star wide receiver Brian Hightower also had.
That's him, Brian Hightower, monster. I'm so sorry, guys. I could not remember his name. I apologize. I did have a couple of adult beverages too, but of
course.
But he is a freakish athlete. He is big, strong, and fast. He has the size of an NFL receiver already. He is a big, matter of fact, he might play tight end. He's a big guy. He's a big physical specimen of a guy. If he can get it down packed, man, he's going to be unguardable.
The four-star had 4 catches, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. We've got a couple people commenting here that they're waiting to get the 2 stud tight ends that were brought into the 2018 class in August, because the tight end Irvin dropped a few passes today.
Yeah, he dropped one from Perry. He dropped 2 from Perry, but one I didn't see the other one as much because I was commenting a lot. But the first one I seen hit him right in the hands, right in the slot, and he just drops it. I don't know about. I don't like to talk about kids, but he's kind of, I don't know if it's an arrogance about him, but I don't know how his work ethic is, because he doesn't seem to be trying hard enough to me. And I tell sometimes it's bad when you see him sulking a little bit and he just doesn't seem to be trying enough for me. And I can tell you, with these 2 young guys coming in, and these are stud tight ends, he's gonna lose his position if he don't get his act together, because he definitely didn't play well today.
Now, there's no ways, though, that we can expect you to have to break down on every unit. You're out there, you're enjoying yourself, you're trying to lock in, you're trying to post video to the Twitter feed and so forth. But somebody is asking about the linebackers, if there's anything that jumped out about the linebackers.
Not really. I know I heard Shaq Quarterman's name called a bunch. I mean, not a bunch, a couple times. But like I said, there was really no blitz, and it was more of a vanilla defense today. So usually our linebackers are very active because we're sending 1 or 2. And it was more defensive line versus offensive line today, to be honest with you. We didn't have any no tight ends for them to cover. He didn't do a lot of blitzing, so I didn't see a lot. But like I said, I was also recording at the same time and looking through the chat sometimes. So, but I didn't see a lot from the linebackers today. But I will go back and I tell you what, it's kind of hard to see. But if anybody want to go to my channel and look at you can look at parts of the game and see what you want to see. Unless they take it down, you can go to parts of the game and see what you want to see.
So they're going to see that on your Twitter feed.
No, it's on my YouTube channel.
On your channel. Okay.
I recorded live today from the game, and I think I hurt my arm a little bit because I kept holding it up to the Videotron, the Megatron, and I was just holding it up so people could watch the game, and they was enjoying that. So.
All right, multitasking today at the Miami Spring game. So Zoe having a great time, getting the job done, making the drive down there, and found a little bit of time for us. So, Alonzo, we appreciate it. Know you got a lot going on, want to enjoy the time and not work the whole time. So check out the Twitter feed and check out the YouTube channel, most of all, for all the videos and the commentary from Alonzo1219, the U family. Got to check him out there. And Zoe, we appreciate you stopping by. I've been looking forward to this, to getting your take on Miami right after the game.
Man, I appreciate it. I'm glad you asked me to do it because, believe me, I'll make maybe 4 games this year, 3 or 4 games this year, and I'll just make sure that as soon as the game is over with, that I'll get with you and let you tell you exactly what I saw from the games. Man, I appreciate you asking me to come on. I really do, all the time, Mark.
That's great. All right, Zoe, enjoy the rest of your trip.
I'm going to give me some kung fritters, and everybody, like he said, everybody, man, Mark is the king of YouTube college football. And if you don't know, like I keep telling people, he looks out for all of us video makers who don't get a platform like this. So we really appreciate you, Mark, 100%, man. And if you don't subscribe to his channel and I see you, we're going to have a problem. So you make sure you subscribe to Mark Rogers TV, because he showed it. If it wasn't for guys like him, we wouldn't be able to do it the way we do it. So I definitely appreciate it, Mark.
All right, so there's no way I can add to that except, again, to let people know that you're where you are. Alonzo1219, the U family, got to subscribe to that YouTube channel. And we always appreciate the time. It's always a good time. I always learn something about the Canes. So I know you're fired up, and it sounds like you like what you see out of this team. So August is coming soon.
Hopefully not too soon. I want to enjoy my summer. I'm on my motorcycle ride now.
I'm with you on that one. It's just starting to get warm up here, but all right.
In South Carolina, too, we've been cold. It was actually in the 30s last week, 40s last week. So
I had a nice little trip to New York City and 75 degrees and sunny, so that was nice today for me. All right, Zoe, you have a good one.
You too, Mark. I most definitely appreciate it, my brother. Mark Rogers Television all day.